another language, feel free to do that. I can speak 3 languages, but not beyond that. When you sat for this test, what really, and I will take about 10 minutes, and after that I will pass you on to Shahrukh to give a presentation on this. When you took this test, what kind of a thought that came to your mind? Because the test has got a rather high flavor of, it's a corporate, made for the corporate people. So why the hell, that we are students, and why should we be writing this test? Did this, the kind of question occur to you? Okay. In the 10 minutes, what I really wanted to do is that I wanted to make an attempt to establish that this test is as relevant to corporate bodies as well as is equally relevant to the student community. And I would like to, try to get that answer through some questions. Question number 1. What do you want to do after you are doing BA, BCom, BBA? What do you want to do after this? Go for your MBA? Please raise your hands. How many of you? Okay, quite a sizable number. How many of you would like to join your family business? Stop it at this point and join the family business. How many of you? No. 1. Okay. And no offense meant, but how many of you would like to get married and raise a family? Now, immediately after this. In fact, nobody. Nobody does that. Okay. Now, after the MBA, so therefore, that there is an overwhelming response on that you want to do your MBA. Right. After MBA, what? Do you want to get a good job in a good company, or you would like to join your family business? Good job in a good company? How many? Raise your hands. Quite a lot of them. Okay, fine. Now, let me tell you that how this is relevant for that. Once you do your undergraduate studies, then you move to your graduate studies, which is a business school, it could be law school, and so on. The professional management courses, because overwhelmingly you want to do MBA. You see, this is a point of time, let me give you a background of mine, a little more detail, so that I make myself a little more credible to all of you, that that way জ্ঞান দিচ্ছি তো সেটাকে একটু credibility দরকার. I work for Tata's, as my good friend Suman said, that in Tata Motors in Pune and in Rallies in Bombay. I left them, although I'm an engineer by training, I left them as General Manager Finance because I had an MBA and I shifted to finance. Then I joined HMV and joined RPG Group, HMV as the Chief Executive. And after 3 years there, I set up a company called RPG Rolls-Royce in the RPG Group with collaboration of Rolls-Royce, with a serious engineering company, there for 5 years. And then came to CESC as an executive director. While in CESC, I was also the first director of the business school which Mr. Sanjeev set up in Kolkata, which is International Management Institute. And so therefore, that I had industrial experience, corporate experience, as well as the educational experience. So I think I'm somewhat credible. Now, that when you are seeking admission in a business school, or after that you are looking for a job, one would tend to be doing that in their own city, right? And it's so much easier to get an admission into the that in a business school in Calcutta. Although there are opportunities everywhere, a lot of other places, but the competition is very high. Similarly, when you want to take up a job, again always it happens that in the local companies normally patronize the local business schools. It's somewhat easier, although it's all all India basis. How many of you read today's Economic Times? One. Okay. Have you read this? That that employment opportunities which are the highest in 3 cities, which gives you 85%, Bengaluru, Mumbai, and Delhi. That's 85%. This is the one. 15% is for the rest of the country, which includes, generally giving a larger employment opportunity, Pune, then Chennai, Hyderabad. So Calcutta, if you really look at it, may not be giving you, it will be sub 5, 2-3% max opportunity. So therefore, employment has to be outside Calcutta. This makes it very, very competitive. Now, when you pass your BBA, BCom, BA, and you want to seek admission in one of the business schools, you have to go through 3 tests. One is some written test, which are standard there, and the SXA is not going to help you on that. That's mutually exclusive. The next one is the group discussion. Now, in the group discussion, normally what you'll find is that the moment the topic is given, somebody straight away, shoots off and says, starts talking, and most of the time talks irrelevantly, keeps on doing the repetitions. But somebody who really comes out as a leader, he just doesn't talk anything for the next 2 minutes, and that tries to kind of collect his thoughts. And then what he does is that he makes a point. He tries to see that others who are not talking and try to encourage them. And so therefore what he does is that he is trying to make a good presentation, a credible presentation. He is trying to do what you call synchronized energy, that is taking everybody around you, synchronizing that energy. All these terms you will find that in the SXA this thing. So therefore, if you agree to this, that okay, these are the kind of things which are good for a group discussion, then SXA is good for you. Second thing is that now you go for the interviews. In the interview, most of the time that the business schools, they will ask for what you are. Can you say something about yourself? Some local this current topics and so on. I used to go to for taking people from IITs and as a graduate engineering trainees for Tata Motors, and IIMs for the management trainees. And our this thing was very clear that don't ask an IIT chap about what he knows, if he's from mechanical engineering, what he knows about theory of machines. It's taken as read that he knows about it. You just pick up something and just ask him that what is his level of interest, what is his hobby. Like somebody says football, Manchester United or Barcelona. Then ask him about that and see how deep he has gone into it. Is he superficial? That tells you that are you superficial, or are you really can go deep into anything. So all these things, what happens is that SXA helps you to develop a test, and you will find that in the presentation that SXA helps you to be smart about such kind of things. When you really join a company, that quite a few people raised hands, is that you want to have a good job in a good company. Believe you me, as a person who has worked in the industries and reasonably senior or top positions, nobody expects you to be a hotshot manager overnight. All they expect you to be is that whether you can get settled down, you can be a part of the team, you can manage the environment. Manage the environment meaning that you are a part of the environment, and if you do that, people are very happy. The rest of the things they will do it. A good company will take care of that. Giving you inputs on such kind of things. You will find that SXA helps you to do that. So, with these these things, now I will pass you on to Sharup, who will take you through the SXA But before that, I hope that I have been able to establish that SXA is as relevant to the student community as much as it is for the corporate sector. I think that although there is a question answer session, and I will not like to that infiltrate in Sharuk's time, but I just take two questions. If there are two questions, just because it is that so much this thing which we just now talked about it. Two questions, and then I will pass you on to Sharuk. Yep.
What are the essential traits you look for in a manager or public manager?
Essential. It depends on different, different areas. For example, if you are in a sales marketing kind of jobs, there is a certain degree of aggression is required. Not so much of aggression is required in a finance kind of a job. But generally what is required in a budding manager is, as I told you, that he will be in a position to be a part of the team. He is not complaining about the environment. He is very enthusiastic about the environment, meaning I'm not talking about the sun, rains and things like that. I'm talking about the environment of the organization. He is not complaining about it. He is very happy to be in that environment, and that's it. CESC as a company doesn't take very kindly to outsiders. And as far as I am concerned, I joined as an executive director as an outsider. And I told that I was responsible for materials, and I thought I had done a wonderful job. So when I had a session with my managing director, my boss, he only said one thing, that we are very happy with you, you have settled down. So if at an executive director level, the settling down is such an important process, then just imagine for a budding manager, that it would be a most important thing. Any other question? Yeah, sure. Yeah, for a girl I will make a concession, make it a third one, but then I will first take yours.
So we recently gave the test, right? So when we gave the test, the first two pages were alright, but then we went to the fourth page. All the questions were related to marketing and sales. So my question to you is, what was the logic behind students answering those 20-30 questions on marketing and sales, where they had no prior idea or experience about it, and how does it help me? How do you analyze that and help us in our?
Marketing is not something that that you have to do, that you have to sell a toothpaste or something. Marketing is that you have to often market yourself. So how do you market? That you really bring out the good points about that product, and in this particular case the product is you. So therefore, whenever you are seeking admission in a business school, and beyond business school when seeking employment in a company, you have to market yourself. You have to really bring the interviewer to the strength of yours and not the weakness of yours. So therefore, it becomes quite important that that to have that knowledge of marketing and sales, in the sense that, as I said, that that you have to look at yourself as a product, and you have to market yourself. Yes, that's the last one.
So if someone asks me that, tell me about something yourself, so what would be my answer to it?
That is something I would leave it to you. I would leave that answer to be given to you after you go through the presentation. Okay? I don't want to talk about it now, but that is precisely what SXA wants to, help each one of you to come out with, saying that to answer that question is that, and with to your satisfaction, that what you are. But please be a little patient and wait for that presentation. Thank you very much.